My name is Eric Johnson. I'm 56 years old and I'm from Urbana, Illinois. Been a special agent for 30 years. I'm on my fifth director in the FBI: Sessions, Free, Mueller, Comey, Wray. And in 2 weeks, I would have been in the FBI for 5 different decades: 89, 90, 2000, 2010, and coming 2020. What inspired me to become an FBI special agent? You know, I just recently got that question when I went home for a neighborhood reunion. Several people asked me that same question. And I believe I've always had a sense of duty. I can remember it at one of my earliest of ages. And not that I was from a violent community or anything, but when I was growing up in the 70s, I do recall a specific incident in our neighborhood where a local gang, not a local gang, but a gang from Chicago was down and threatening one of the pastors in our neighborhood on the street. And they were going to raid his house that night. Well, our house lined up behind a park. I recall at a very early age looking out the window, seeing torches come through the park. My father and all the neighbors had coordinated through the homes, and they actually had their shotguns out, aiming them through the window. And as the gang members neared the pastor's house, one of the houses shot off a warning shot and told him to back off or else they're going to have to support the pastor. So the gang did back off that night. And I don't know if my sense of duty came from that incident, but it started at an early age. If I was not an agent, what would I be doing? Most likely my goal early on, again, going back to a sense of duty, I believe I would have been a judge, a local judge or a federal judge. I've always had an interest in law. Thought about law school at one point, but I believe I would have been a judge. What steps did I take to be a special agent? Early, I always knew I was going to be in law enforcement. So personally, I always made sure I did not do the wrong thing. I never gave in to peer pressure. If someone was doing something stupid, I let them do something stupid. I wasn't going to do it with them. So stayed away from criminal activity. It was a lot of drug use in the neighborhood, primarily marijuana. They knew Eric Johnson was the person that didn't use marijuana. I hang out with the guys and everything like that, but they knew not to pass the joint or the marijuana to me growing up. So I never used illegal substances because I always knew at some point in time someone would ask, did you ever use illegal drugs? So I never did prior to coming to the FBI. Professionally, I ensured I received an education, went to college, and joined the Army before entering the FBI, and that helped me obtain this position. The most rewarding part is helping victims. I learned that at a very early stage in my career. I worked a lot of violent crime, getting kids home who had been kidnapped. I was one case, I was part of a 3-man team that went to South America to retrieve an American who had been abducted for over a year. We were able to get him back. There's all kinds of cases and opportunities I had in the FBI where I was able to help victims of crimes, and that by far is the best item you can get out of being an FBI agent. What have I learned about myself personally and professionally since becoming an agent? Personally, job satisfaction. I enjoy this job. I love this job. You can tell after being in for 30 years, the job satisfaction. It's a career choice that I was correct about when I started in the FBI, and I'm very satisfied with my choice personally. Professionally, what I've learned about this job is that I'm actually pretty good at it. I enjoy the job at this stage of my career now. I like giving back to the new employees, the new agents on things that I've learned over the years, and that the job is very rewarding when you work, especially working with state, federal, and local law enforcement. What are some of the myths about being an FBI agent that aren't true? Here's the major myth. We do not go to local and state crime scenes and take over the scene. We do not do that. The scene in the movie what is the movie? Die Hard. Die Hard 1, where Agent Johnson & Johnson shows up at the scene to take over the crime scene. That does not happen. The FBI just doesn't take over. We do not control local, state, and other federal agencies and law enforcement departments. Myths about black agents that I don't believe are true. I really haven't come across myths about black special agents. I will say, whether it's law enforcement or any other agency, when blacks are promoted within the FBI, there is some stigmatism on those promotions, meaning whether or not the agent obtained a position based on his work, resume, character, or whether because it's a promotion due to diversity. That's one negative stigma that is in effect in local law enforcement, including the FBI. A dream location, any major city is a dream location to me. Most agents will tell you Hawaii. Hawaii is the dream location of most agents, and I'll probably include myself in that. Although I enjoy major cities because there's a lot going on, many different opportunities. You can work different programs in the FBI, but Hawaii most likely will be the #1 dream location. As a youth, I want you to understand that you can accomplish anything you want. Everything you have to succeed in life, you already have. You have a mind, you have energy, you have a heart. You can accomplish anything you want to accomplish. Now, if you want to be in law enforcement, you do have to watch the activities that you do growing up, in high school, in college. Do not give in to peer pressure. Trust yourself, trust your mind, and you can accomplish anything you want to do. The FBI is doing a fantastic job these days about outreach to the black community to inspire more individuals to apply for positions, special agent, professional support staff with the FBI. We have to hit the churches. We have to reach out to the black radio stations. We have to reach out to the events that are taking place within the communities. We have to reach out to civics groups, NAACP and other groups, Urban League, and let them know that the FBI is a viable place for employment for African Americans. It can be done. It can be difficult to balance family and social life with the FBI career, depending on what type of squad you're working on. But there's a balance that can be made. I worked 10 years on one of the most active squads in every office, which is violent crime. And it's a 24-hour position in some cases and on the weekends. But there's plenty of time where you can manage family, prioritize family and social activities along with the FBI position. Now, there are also some positions that do not require substantial amount of times or reactionary investigations, that it's an easy balance that can be made between family and the job. In my spare time, I spend a lot of time watching sports. I'm a sports fanatic. I'm a former AAU basketball coach. I coached girls and boys youth basketball for about 10 years. But I follow a lot of sports, and I'm a news junkie. And I watch a lot of news. So besides that, I'm spending time with my family and working on the house. I'm not a major reader. I know a lot of people have books that they're constantly reading. My daughter, son, wife, they all read a lot. I do not read that much. If anything, I read Time magazines, U.S. News to stay on top of current and international events. I'm normally watching the news and obtaining a lot of my information. So I really don't read. I'm not an avid reader. The music that I enjoy the most, even at my age of 56, is still hip hop and R&B. The beats and the music, it just makes your head nod. And I still enjoy hip hop and R&B, and some of the oldies from the 70s. My favorite song of all time is Flashlight by Parliament. If you haven't heard it, play it. I believe it might be the best record of all time ever made. When it comes to quotes, I have a lot of quotes that I look at. Winners, losers look at winners. Winners focus on winning. Conor McGregor, I never lose. I always focus on what'll make me better. What I tell people, what I would say is believe in yourself. Know that you can accomplish and do anything you want in life, and do not have anybody impede your choices. The FBI honoring 100 years of African American special agents is, I believe, a special event because it's many contributions that we've provided to the FBI, that we've been able to get out there and show that we can succeed in this organization. We can inspire others. We can lead in positions. And I think by the FBI signifying that in this year, we'll get out to the community so young people will be able to acknowledge that might be a career path that I would like to choose. What I would want to share with everyone is that, especially the young people out there, the FBI will be probably the greatest career choice you make. Our retention rate as special agents is extremely high. I've been in again 30 years, and I can tell you maybe on one hand the number of agents that stepped out of the FBI to go do something else. Definitely less than 10 in a 30-year period. No other organization, I don't care if it's local, state, or federal law enforcement or commercial businesses, will have a retention rate like the FBI. And the reason that is because our mission is so high. It gives us the opportunity to serve and to protect the community at levels that sometimes the community just don't know about.